What's going on everyone, my name is Edward Preston and welcome back to the Sonic Retrospective. In the last episode we decided to cover Sonic's first outing on the Sega Dreamcast and his first truly successful 3D adventure being Sonic Adventure. And in today's video we are going to be covering his critically acclaimed sequel Sonic Adventure 2. Now just before this video begins, I would just like to say I have a little bit of bias towards this game over the first because I played this before I played the first one because I heard it was so much better than the first. And well, I'm not gonna lie, in my opinion it is better than the first one, but obviously I'm gonna go through this now and explain why I think that. But other than that, enjoy this video. Okie dokie then folks, let's talk about this plot, shall we? So the plot goes as follows. Learning of a secret weapon from the diary of his late grandfather, Professor Gerald Robotnik, Eggman infiltrates a high-security GUN facility and revives it using a Chaos Emerald. The weapon, a black hedgehog, a self-proclaimed ultimate life form named Shadow the Hedgehog, offers to help Eggman conquer the world, telling him to rendezvous at the abandoned space colony Ark with more Chaos Emeralds. Shadow goes to Central City, encountering GUN's forces after stealing an emerald. Shadow has vowed to fulfill a promise to a girl, Maria, which he interprets as one of revenge. Shadow blasts through the military force and meets Sonic after a brief confrontation. Shadow escapes and GUN catches Sonic, whom they mistake for Shadow. Knuckles encounters Rouge, and Eggman, who tried to steal the Master Emerald. He stops them by shattering the emerald and searches for the scattered shards. Rouge is spying for the government, heads to Eggman's base and the Ark. There Shadow shows Eggman the Eclipse Cannon, another super weapon created by Gerald, and discloses his plan to charge the cannon with Chaos Emeralds and use it to take over the world. Rouge appears, offering them a Chaos Emerald to gain their trust. Tails and Amy infiltrate GUN's island base and rescue Sonic, while Eggman, Shadow and Rouge collect 3 emeralds on the island. Eggman makes a global broadcast threatening to fire on Earth in 24 hours if his demands are not met, demonstrating the cannon's power by destroying half of the moon, and apparently Sega doesn't acknowledge this anymore, but whatever. Sonic, Tails, Amy and Knuckles use a Chaos Emerald to track down the other 6. They infiltrate Eggman's base, boarding his shuttle before it launches into space. Knuckles' Master Emerald shards are spilled along the way, and he leaves to collect them once again. He again fights Rouge, but when he saves her from falling into a lava pit, she relinquishes her shards and he restores the Master Emerald. On the Ark, Tails reveals he has designed a counterfeit Chaos Emerald to destroy the Eclipse Cannon. As Sonic is about to use it, Eggman tells him that he has captured Tails and Amy, forcing him to return and rescue them. Sonic tries to trick Eggman with the fake emerald, but Eggman jettisons him into an escape pod rigged with explosives. Tails, thinking Sonic is dead, defeats Eggman. Sonic uses the power of the fake emerald to escape. Shadow is sent to intercept him, but Sonic defeats him and destroys the Eclipse Cannon. And I'm not going to talk about the rest of the plot just yet, as it goes into the final story of the game, and I'm going to leave that until the very end. Now that we've read Sega's Bible, let's talk about this gameplay. So the gameplay in this game is split up into 3 different playstyles. You have the speed levels, the treasure hunting levels, and the shooting levels. First we're going to start with everyone's favourite, the speed levels. And Jesus Christ, yes, this is what it feels like to play a Sonic game. This is amazing level design. City Escape being the opening level to the hero story and most people's first levels to play in the game if you don't choose the dark side. You know, not talking about Star Wars or anything, but if you play this level first, basically, this game is going to give you a huge smile on your face as a first impression, because in the background you've got City Escape playing, which is highly regarded as one of the greatest Sonic songs of all time, and also this level just being an absolute blast to play through even on your first try, because the second you start on that snowboard you feel straight at home, everything feels nice to control, and then when you're on your foot running around the rest of the city, everything just feels fantastic. The speed is great, the momentum is great, and it never ever feels like a slugfest, especially in this level. It's a level that many people can go back and play over and over again, and I can too. And if you didn't think sliding down a pavement on a snowboard was crazy enough, just look at this shit, what the fuck? Anyways, we may as well continue talking about each gameplay style as we go through the hero story. So, moving on to the second gameplay style, we have the treasure hunting. The treasure hunting in the hero story, similar to what it was in Sonic Adventure 1, has us take control of Knuckles as he goes around different levels looking for the Master Emerald shards. And while fair enough, it's You know, I can't lie, I don't like these treasure hunting stages in this game. Some of them I honestly don't mind, like the smaller levels such as Wild Canyon, which is on screen now, I don't really mind because it's a breeze. But then when you get the larger levels like Mad Space, it just goes to shit. Simply because the radar in this game just took a big finger up its ass. And by that I mean, now when you use your, like, you know, the radar at the bottom of the screen that goes like blink, blink, blink when you're near a Chaos Emerald or a Master Emerald shard or whatever, you can only now pick up one at a time. So I could be stood right next to a shard, but it wouldn't tell me. And that is extremely frustrating, especially when you get the other two and then you go back to that same location and you think to yourself, I was here like 4 seconds ago, what the fuck, game? It's not a very fun thing really, but the stages, they are coordinated quite well. They're not all huge stages, so they are like relatively easy to navigate, and also they will be over within 5 minutes tops, so there's nothing to worry about. But Pumpkin Hill is one of these levels, and I'm just going to quickly play a little bit of it on piano. Alright, I'm doing this on Magic Piano by Smul, so yeah, here we go. I ain't gonna let it get to me, I'm just gonna creep down the Pumpkin Hill, I gotta find my lost feet, shizer. And the third and final type of gameplay style is my least favourite. The shooting stages in this game are all trash. I do not like a single one of these levels. Not because I'm a hater, but because they are bad. They're too slow, the control can sometimes be a little bit clunky, the upgrades are far too ridiculous and far too late into the game to access, so at the start you just feel completely naked with your ability and it doesn't feel nowhere near as fun as Gamma in Sonic Adventure 1 did. The level design, while it's not bad, it's not the best thing I've ever seen either. The whole mechanic of shoot enemies to unlock this door, it gets really repetitive after a while. And these are some of the hardest stages, other than Metal Harbor, to get an A rank on, simply because of the massive amount of score you need. And this means you can't die, and you're going to easily die if you fall off because of this and that and this and that. They're all shit, I don't like them. But on the bright side, we get to control Dr. Eggman. Yosh! So the hero story sees us control Sonic as our speed character, Tails as our shooting character, and Knuckles as our treasure hunting character respectively. So what about the dark side? Well, the dark side sees us control Shadow as our speed character, Eggman as our shooter, and Rouge the Bat as our treasure hunter, both Shadow and Rouge being newcomers to the series. Shadow and Rouge's stages are essentially the same as Sonic's and Knuckles, simply because they are just basically copy and paste, just with different models and obviously different levels. And let's just talk about Shadow's levels. Shadow's levels, while he doesn't have nowhere near as many as anyone else in the game, which is really a shame, but yeah, he gets some pretty good levels, Radical Highway being a good one, as well as White Jungle. And then also you have Sonic's equivalent levels being Green Forest and I guess you could say City Escape or Metal Harbor, it depends how you want to put that. But all the speed stages in this game are really good. I don't think there's any speed stage that I don't like. Maybe there's one exception, but it's fine, I'll let it slide. Now the shooting stages in Eggman sections are admittedly better than Tails, simply because I feel I can have a better time controlling him, and also some of his levels are much more fun and easier to get an air rank on, so it's not as stressful. Plus some of them don't feel as difficult, which is really nice, and also he gets these hover upgrades sooner than Tails, which is just a huge +1 in my book, because that hover upgrade is just the best. But again, the stages aren't very good, I don't like them at all, but they are much more plausible than Tails' stages. And last we have Boobs the Bat as our treasure hunter. And yeah, it's safe to say I prefer Knuckles' stages, but you know, they're basically the same, apart from some of Rouge's can last longer, and she also has the worst level in the game, and I'm not even going to bother talking about that because it'll probably give me a fucking aneurysm. And for some reason, both stories have a kart racing level for some bizarre reason, but whatever. The kart levels basically involve you taking control of either Tails or Rouge, and you have to drive down the highway in hunt for either Tails if you're playing as Rouge, or in hunt for the president if you're playing as Tails. Which, this gets really confusing because if you're being Tails and you're driving on the highway trying to catch the president, but in Rouge's story Tails is flying in his plane, like, what the fuck happened? Continuity errors aside, I think we can forgive that, especially after this. don't worry about the moon though. By the time Shadow the Hedgehog rolled around, that shit was completely fixed. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not going to talk about the Child Garden or the minigames, simply because I'm reviewing Sonic Adventure 2, not the side content. I'm going to review what's given to me. Well, technically the Child Garden was given to me, but it's side content. It's not important. So if you want to know my thoughts on the Child Garden, it's fun for the first couple of days, but then once you unlock everything in it, then it just gets shit. Okay, so now we're moving on to the last story, and just like in the last episode, I am going to tell you now there will be spoilers, and major story spoilers here. So if you haven't finished Sonic Adventure 2 yet, and you would like to finish it for yourself, and you don't want to have any of the story spoiled for yourself, then please go ahead. Well, I've already spoiled the majority of the start of it, but that bit's not important. It's not the ending. It doesn't matter. So if you don't want the ending spoiled for yourself, then I'll just tell you my score on Sonic Adventure 2 right now. Sonic Adventure 2, in my books, gets an 8 out of 10. It's really, really good. And I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 because I love the speed stages to death, and the replay value with them and the challenges are actually really, really fun. The shooting stages can go and suck my dick, and some of the treasure hunting stages are passable, but the rest of them are just iffy. But then again, with the side content, that just adds to the fun of the game as well. And also in the battle port on the PC, PS3, Xbox 360, and also the GameCube, there is an extended multiplayer mode, which is really, really fun to play with friends, family, or just strangers alike. If you let homeless people into your house to play GameCube or whatever, I don't know, whatever suits you best. But yeah, now I'm not talking about the battle port like I didn't talk about the DX port of Sonic Adventure 1. So it's only fair if I rate the version on the Dreamcast an 8, and the version on the GameCube, if you're curious, which is the same as the one on the 7th generation consoles. Wait, or is it 8? The PS3 and 360. Those versions get an 8.5. Basically, the battle version gets an 8.5, and the regular version gets an 8. So I'm sorry for blabbering. I'll talk about the last story now. So the plot for the last story goes as follows. After Sonic destroys the Eclipse Cannon, Eggman sneaks away from Tails and Amy with the last emerald and arms the Eclipse Cannon. When he tries to fire it, however, the colony begins falling and a pre-recorded message from Gerald Robotnik broadcasts. He programmed the Ark to collide with Earth if the emeralds were used, destroying it in revenge for the government condemning his research and killing his colleagues, including his granddaughter Maria. Everyone works together to access the cannon's core and neutralize the Ark using the Master Emerald. When Shadow refuses to participate, Amy pleads for his help, reminding him of Maria's real request for him to help mankind and give them a chance. Shadow catches up with Sonic and Knuckles in the core, and they encounter the Bio-Lizard, a prototype ultimate life form. Shadow repels it, allowing Knuckles to deactivate the Chaos Emeralds with the Master Emerald. The Bio-Lizard uses Chaos Control to fuse with the cannon, becoming the final hazard and continuing the Ark's collision course. Sonic and Shadow use the emeralds to transform into their super forms, defeating the final hazard and using Chaos Control to teleport the Ark back into stable orbit. This depletes Shadow's energy and he plummets to Earth, content in fulfilling his promise to Maria. The people on Earth celebrate as the heroes return home, and Sonic bids Shadow a farewell, as this is his death. Yes, boys and girls, you heard that right. Shadow the Hedgehog fucking died. So what do Sonic Heroes give us? Anyways, lazy plot aside, so basically what ends up happening is the Ark balloons a cross course towards Earth, so it's up to everyone else to stop it from doing that, and in the process they discover the prototype for what Shadow could have been. And I'm questioning Gerald's true sanity here, because how do you go from a huge fucking lizard to a tiny anthropomorphic hedgehog? Like, what? Like, huh? Anyways, before we did that, everyone else had to go through, some mad big stage, which was boring, so I skipped it. Anyway, so Shadow comes along and he proceeds to beat the fuck out of the lizard, and to which the lizard gets pissed off. He uses Chaos Control, and right, this is going to sound grim, but this is literally what happens. He shoves the end of the cannon up his ass. Okay. As the Dream Team turns into super forms, and they proceed to take on the final hazard. And this boss fight? Oh my days, dude, this final fight is so hype. With Live and Learn playing in the background, being easily one of the best vocal theme songs in any video game to grace the market, and just soaring through the skies of Super Sonic and Super Shadow, using Sonic's boost formula, well, technically the boost formula, for the first time ever to, I don't know, like pop this guy's pimples, whatever they are, I don't fucking know, whilst you stare at that big ass needle going up his rectum. it's just also hype, dude. It's so cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can be difficult on your first try, but other than that, dude, oh my god, it's so fun. In my opinion, it doesn't stack up to the likes of Perfect Chaos. I think Perfect Chaos was a better fight, but in terms of spectacle and stuff, this is just amazing. Anyway, Shadow uses the last of his available energy and power to take down the beast, and in return, obviously, life's a bitch, and it hit Shadow hard. Shadow used up the rest of his energy within him, you know, because obviously he's a creation. He isn't able to sustain mortality for, you know, an immense amount of time, especially whilst using his super form. So whenever Shadow turns super, it is a huge risk for himself. But he uses up the rest of his energy and his power to sacrifice himself to save the world. Which, honest to God, when most people saw this scene for the first ever time, it got them really emotional. And, not gonna lie, I was one of those people. I was really, really upset to see this shit, because Shadow is my favourite character in the entire canon. And despite me only encountering this game for the first time in 2013, and I had played previous games which made me even more fond of Shadow, and this, don't get me wrong, this game made Shadow grow me even more. It was really sad to see Shadow go the way he did, but obviously what he did was for the greater good, and it just makes him a true hero in my eyes. You know, Shadow is a hero. He's not a villain or an anti-hero. He is a true hero. Not counting Shadow the Hedgehog, because, you know, we're going to talk about that in 2 weeks. But, yeah, man, this game's ending is just... it hits you right in the feels.
Now, Shadow! Chaos Control!
Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
Well, my friends, that will wrap it up for my look on Sonic Adventure 2 as part of the Sonic Retrospective. This game was a huge step up from what it came from, and considering more people think Sonic Adventure 1's a better game than this, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you played that game fully, and have you played this game fully? Sonic Adventure 2 is a mastercraft of a game, and I just can't get enough of this game sometimes. But then again, if I have to play through the parts of it I don't like, I just really can't be asked to play it. But again, like, I can't complain with this game. It's just really, really good. I love this game, and as do many others. A lot of people consider this to be their favourite Sonic game, and they say that due to nostalgic reasons, I think. But the rest of it, yeah, I can see where they're coming from. This game is amazing. If you haven't played it before, I highly recommend you guys pick it up on the PS3, Xbox, GameCube, Dreamcast, whatever, whichever's available to you first. But there are rumours it might be coming to the Nintendo Switch, so if that happens, my attention is just going to be drawn straight to that. You know, but just please pick this game up, it's amazing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video of mine. Take care, and peace out.